today for the Ankerstar Wealth Daily Update. Today's show is going to be very important. We're going to do a deep dive, thanks to Mary Meeker's research that was released late in May, but we're going to be able to go look and do a deep dive in where AI, how quickly AI has taken off as an adopted technology and where it's taking us over the coming 5 and 10 years. You're not going to want to miss this because this is, as I mentioned yesterday, it's almost an investment opportunity that we can't afford to miss. The adoption has been faster than anything we've seen before, and we'll need to be mindful. We'll need to monitor that and take advantage of that as it plays out over time. Before I get started, I want to remind everyone that this is a financial education presentation. You must do your own due diligence before acting on anything you hear in this presentation. More disclaimer information can be found on AnkerstarWealth.com, and the opinions expressed are mine and mine alone. All right, I'm going to start off by showing you, we're going to start on slide 1 of a 340 slide deck that Mary Meeker and her research team published on May 30th. That's Mary Meeker there. Why is Mary Meeker's voice so valuable in the space and to investors everywhere? It's because she happened to be assigned to do an internet trend presentation in a similar fashion way back in the 1990s. So she was one of the first people monitoring and reporting on internet adoption for the past 30 years. And now we get her wisdom as she looks at the differences, similarities, and comparisons with AI as an adopted technology. All right, and that's Mary Meeker right there. So we appreciate their work very much. Okay, so we're going to go through quite a bit of information and be the judge for yourself of how important you think this technology will be in the coming years. Here in the top right, we have the leading USA-based large language model users has grown from 0 in October of 2022 to 800 million in April of 2025. Wow. Chart on the bottom left here. How long did it take for the internet to get to 90% of users outside of North America? It took the internet 23 years. And how long did it take large language models? 3 years. So the adoption rate makes internet adoption seem very, very slow. All right, let's keep going. Here you can see we're going to look at AI in physical worlds, AI related to work evolution, and then just AI users globally. Here in the top left, you can see that as of August 2023, autonomous taxis like Waymo's accounted for 0% of San Francisco's operating zone market share. It took less than 2 years for autonomous taxis to overtake rideshare in San Francisco. In the top right, you can see AI adoption is a very global phenomenon. Sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, North America, Middle East and North Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, Europe, Central Asia, East Asia, and the Pacific. This is a global fire that's spreading faster. I mean, by the time we're looking at this on June, mid-June, the adoption metrics have probably changed in a noticeable way from when they released this in May. Here you've got AI and work evolution. So non-AI technology jobs have decreased 9% since January 2018. AI-related IT jobs have increased 450%. Not an accident. This is technology adoption taking place right before our eyes. Here we've got global GDP. So this would be kind of a logarithmic scale here. You can see that each step up is not evenly spaced, right, in value. So the printing press the printing press a few hundred years ago brought global GDP to about 500 billion. You can see steam engines, telegraphs. What do you notice about this line? Global GDP is accelerating because of these technological advancements, with AI and cloud services being the fastest adopted technology in human history. This just shows training compute for key AI models. This goes back to 1950. We're going to talk a little bit about AI developments going back to the 1950s in just a minute. But you can see that training compute was increasing at about 150% per year. And then you get to 2010, and you're seeing that acceleration up to 360% per year. And we don't have an indication that that is slowing down anytime soon. So it just shows you that what Mary Meeker is trying to get across in her presentation is that the adoption of this technology, the use cases, the power of the technology, it is unprecedented compared to anything else that the world has seen. Sounds like a bold statement, but that's the case they're making, and you can be the judge for yourself at the end whether or not they are right or wrong. Here's the number of new large language models that are available. So in 2020, you had 2, and then maybe 5, 15 in 2022, 55 in 2023, and surpassing 100 in 2024. These models are becoming more special. We're going to look at specialized models, and they're becoming more powerful by the day. Here's annual searches by year since public launches of Google and ChatGPT. They show you that Google, it took 11 years to reach 365 billion annual searches. Why did they pick that? Because I think that's where ChatGPT is right now. And then ChatGPT hit 365 billion annual searches in 2 years. Here's some AI milestones. So I did mention 1950. Alan Turing in 1950 creates his Turing test to measure computer intelligence. We've got a little bit, in 1962, Arthur Samuel, an IBM computer scientist, creates a self-learning program that proves capable of defeating a top USA checkers champion. But then they do highlight an AI winter. So because of internet adoption taking the world by storm and being such a focus, AI adoption or AI development was sort of stalled for really roughly 30 years here. And to be fair, these early milestones they pale in comparison relating to what came next. But you can see starting in 1997, you had IBM's chess playing computer defeat the world chess champion at the time. And if you can pause and read a few more of these, they're very interesting, but I will skip ahead. November of 2022, that's the moment that the world changed, and that is OpenAI's release date of ChatGPT for public use. So now we're going to look at other developments that came after this. And what do you notice? They're much closer together, and the actual progress is accelerating as well. But again, you can pause this if you want to look at any specific milestones, but we will zip over to April 2025, where ChatGPT reaches 800 million weekly users globally. So here's 10 things AI can do today. So when you're talking to AI, it's going to help you with things. It's going to summarize things, tutor you, think with you. It's going to automate some repetitive work. It's going to connect you to things, offer therapy. It's going to help you prep for interviews, help you find purpose or clarify values and goals. And it's going to help you organize your life. They asked ChatGPT, what will you be doing in 5 years? So here's what ChatGPT predicts it will be doing for us in 5 years. Create human-level text, code, and logic. Create full-length films and games. Understand and speak like a human. power advanced personal assistants, operate human-like robots, run autonomous customer service and sales, personalize entire digital lives, build and run autonomous businesses. What? Drive autonomous discovery and science, collaborate creatively like a partner. Wow. And then they did ask, what will, they asked ChatGPT, what will you be able to do in 10 years? So fast forward 10 years, ChatGPT or LLMs will be helping us with scientific research, advanced technologies, simulating human-like minds, operating autonomous companies, perform complex physical tasks, coordinate systems globally, model full biological systems, offer expert-level decisions, shape public debate and policy, even proposing laws of things, building immersive virtual worlds. So I don't personally have any doubt on whether or not any of these things will be true. The thought is, how do you, as this takes place, how do we take advantage of this as investors? And you know, it is interesting to daydream about what life will be like in 10 years. Certainly very different than it is now. Here is, so AI performance with trying to evaluate, with people trying to evaluate if responses are human-like or not. As of February of 2025, GPT 4.5 convinced about 73% of responders that they were not. Wow. Okay. This is, so what are companies talking about, right? What are S&P 500 companies thinking? Is this important to them? Here's the proportion of S&P 500 firms mentioning AI during quarterly earnings calls. As of Q4 2024, you had surpassed 50%. You go back just to November of 2022, you were at 10%. It's my personal belief that AI is going to be AI is going to benefit every sector of the S&P 500. So you look at, sometimes people think, oh, I want to invest in AI, I'm going to hold just NVIDIA or something like that. They make the chips, right? It's my belief that AI is going to provide massive benefit to every sector of the S&P 500 through efficiencies, automation, and so on. So, and you know, just progress in general as a company. So this certainly will be growing from here. This shows just the capital expenditures from the big 6 USA public technology companies. Obviously, it's going up and to the right. You know, you rewind a couple years ago, 2020, it was probably 40 billion, 2021, 55 billion, 2022, probably 75 billion, 2023, 75 billion, 2024, 130 billion. The expectation is that these capital expenditures globally will surpass 500 billion annually for AI development, implementation, and so on. Here's the big 6 USA public technology companies' research and development spend versus the percent of revenue. So whereas a couple of years ago, they were maybe only spending 5% of their revenue on research and development expenses related to AI, now you're looking at 13% of revenue being spent for research and development. This is interesting as well. And just a little reminder, this slide deck was 340 slides, so I couldn't hit everything. What I was trying to get across through this presentation is that this is a can't miss technology that is changing the world as we speak and will continue to do so rapidly. Here's a data center build time versus the time to build a home. They used AI to help cut out unnecessary steps of this process, and there was a fully operational data center built in 122 days versus just a standalone single-family home taking about 234 days. So where there's a will, there's a way, and there's certainly a strong will right now. Here's some AI monetization. This would be any companies that are experiencing rapid growth as they implement not only adopt but drive this technology forward. So here's Scale AI. They grew revenue from 330 million in 2023 to 870 million in 2024. And it seems it's obviously very aggressive growth. Here's a bridge. This is a clinical conversations company. They grew revenue from 50 million in like annual recurring revenue up to 117 million in 5 months. So consumers can't get their hands on this stuff fast enough. I mean, this is happening right now. Here's Harvey. Here's annual recurring revenue from Harvey. You can go back to December 2023. Harvey was doing 10 million a year in revenue. March of 2025, you're looking at 70 million a year in revenue. So a 10x in revenue versus a year, 15 months. Okay, a few more slides. So here is the actual AI company landscape that you can think about. This would be direct investments into AI and kind of their purpose in the ecosystem. So who's providing the cloud services? Google, Amazon, Microsoft. Those are in our models. Those are very obvious beneficiaries of this technology being adopted. Very easy to hold in your portfolio in the coming years. Then you've got the building AI infrastructure. You've got OpenAI, xAI, Meta, NVIDIA. So some of those are building models. Some of those are building the supplies. Those are easy to own as well. And then you've got companies who are developing models and chatbots. This part is going to be very competitive. It's going to become easier to develop models and chatbots. And I can't speak exactly to one of these companies being able to establish a competitive moat around their offering. But of course, this is happening in real time, so we will see. This shows you the median time to annualized revenue of 5 million a year in revenue. So up until now, every attractive company was one of those software as a service type companies. So companies that provide you a software as a service, you pay monthly, generate recurring revenue for the company, and so on. Adobe is one. There's hundreds of them, right? But it's showing you here that you're getting 35% faster. You're getting to 5 million a year in recurring revenue 35% faster by running AI companies versus running software as a service companies. Other use cases, and you this to see, but personalized education, environmental and climate monitoring, energy grid management, cybersecurity and threat detection, medical discovery, precision manufacturing. You've got finance, robotics, scientific research, supply chains. AI is coming for every corner of the economy. So that's all I have. Please, if you have any questions, throw them down there. Again, want to say thank you to Mary Meeker and their team for releasing this research. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.